All right. How has your way of life changed any over the years as, um, gotten
Yes.
older? How so? Can you elaborate a little bit?
Okay. How has it changed over
Yeah,
the
like
years?
what's different in the past 5 to 10 years, let's say.
My life has changed appreciably since Nancy had a stroke, and I wound up. Um, I don't like to use the word caregiver because I think that we both care for each other and we do for each other. But I took on a lot of I became more aware of a lot of things that I needed to do,
Okay.
whether it was things around the house, medicine, doctor's appointments, became much more aware of other things that I had to do that changed my life as opposed to going out and working every day.
Perfect. Great. Have you noticed any like loss of hearing? Like, have you had a loss of hearing by any chance, or is it
I
just
would say yes.
yes?
Um, as a matter of fact, I know that the answer is yes because quite often things will happen like my telephone will ring and I don't hear it. It's in my pocket.
Oh yeah.
And somebody else will notice that there's a phone ringing and it becomes mine.
Yeah.
Does that count as loss of hearing?
Yeah.
Okay,
A
yes.
little bit. Yeah. Um, has your social life changed any? Your social life, has that changed any? Even more socializing, or less by any chance from when you were younger? Or,
Let me think about that one for a second. The answer is going to be less socializing. The answer is yes, definitely, because I spend more time at home. So it is, and we find that our days have changed. For example, or not, our days end much earlier because of Nancy's health.
right.
So the answer would be yes. On the other hand, on a short-term basis, living in a condominium, we find that there's a lot of people that we say hello to. We just don't go out to dinner with them or do other things. So it's a friendly existence. It's not as outwardly social.
Okay. Right. Have your daily activities changed any? If so, how? Like,
Yes, because I closed my office. So, and I still do the same work that I do. The difference is I work more by telephone and I am here more. Also,
what is that you do? Just
pardon me?
what is that you close your office for that you did?
I was a consultant, and I worked with businesses and individuals in defining their business, which I do the same thing, except it is. I used to have the structure of going to an office every day, or had the structure of an office every day. I still work the same way. It's just different.
Right. What about like free time, or like what you like to do for yourself? You just take
It
pictures,
changed.
photography. You like photography a lot. Do you?
I'm doing more of it.
More.
I'm doing more of it. The interesting thing is that rather than traveling, I used to be actually I used to do a lot of public speaking, which I stopped doing because I really live my life on a daily basis, depending upon how Nancy feels that day.
Right.
So I don't commit to long-term engagements, or my schedule is entirely different. But I found that I do a lot of things right here, or if we go for a walk, I look for things. So actually, it's gotten much better. And I'm actually showing much more work, and I'm doing much more in that way. So in that sense, it's greatly improved. Interesting is a comment, and as a thought as you asked this, my life has actually never been better.
That's good.
It's different. It's more focused, and it has a greater. I pay more attention to things than I do. My hearing may not be as strong as it is. My focus or my attention to what you say is much stronger. So all in all, it's really better than it was before.
Great. That's cool. Have you noticed a change in memory over the years? Like, explain, like more. Like, you have a good memory still, or like has anything changed? You see yourself forgetting something, or?
Okay, if my memory, I'm not sorry, what was that question? No, I'm kidding. My memory actually, It's more selective.
Selective. Okay.
I have always been a note taker of things that are important, and I carry a notebook with me. Well, I have always done that. So if it's an interesting quote or something, and I'll go back and I'm kind of impressed with what I found at another time. But my attention to an assortment of things that I pay attention to is much better. My memory is fine.
Great. Great. Would you say that people treat you differently, or in any different way from when you were younger? Or?
No, I've always found good people. That's something that I think that people are I just find good people wherever I am, and it's fun to meet different people, and I've always enjoyed doing that. And it comes from just very simply, I ask a lot of questions like, how'd you learn to do that, or why are you do that? And I learn rather than, and I've always found people to be incredibly interesting and good. So that's pretty much the same.
Great. Has your ability to get around changed any?
My ability to get
Get
around?
around, like
No.
driving, yeah.
Nope. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's it. I don't know.